I'm Chris. Today we're looking at a 2004 Maserati Coupe. Welcome to Cambiocorsa. It's been a dream of mine to own a fine Italian sports car. Tops out at 176 miles per hour, standing quarter in 13 and change. That's how Johnny Sack introduced his Maserati Coupe to Tony Soprano in the hit HBO TV series back in season 5, and it's exactly how I'm introducing mine to you today. The badge shining down there on my glove box lid tells you this is a Coupe GT, a 4-seat hardtop car with a 6-speed manual transmission. This is a rare GT Coupe, hand assembled in Modena, Italy. Under the bonnet is a dry sump V8 engine produced by Ferrari, and in its day Maserati Trofeo was the one-make racing series. This particular car has a 6-speed manual transmission, making it the last manual car that Maserati ever produced, and yet it's still available for less than £10,000. Let's take in the shape of the car for a moment. The curves stand out fantastically with this Grigio Touring paintwork. It's Grigio Touring over narrow leather, which I think is a classy combination that really suits the car. This is a facelift car, which means the front and rear bumpers are slightly different to the earlier cars. It has a much larger grille down the front here. Also, these 7-spoke alloys through which you can see the Rosso brake calipers, giving it that little sporting edge, became standard at the point of the facelift. Under the bonnet we have the first iteration of the Ferrari Maserati F136 engine. This is the F136R. It's a 4.2 litre 90-degree cross-plane crank V8, and it produces 390 horsepower with 450 newton meters of torque. That's 333 pound-feet, coming at around 4,500 RPM. The car itself weighs about 1,650 kilograms, so with that power and weight combination it will propel the car to 60 miles an hour in roughly 4.7 seconds, all the way onto that 176 mile an hour top speed. Rumour has it that Ferrari stifled the power of this car through a restrictive ECU and an exhaust that runs an unusual route above the steering column. I don't know if those rumours are true, but if you compare the figures from this car to those of the contemporary Ferrari 360, you'll see that they're actually quite comparable. This has to be one of the most beautiful engines in a modern car, with the red, black and gold colours making it stand out in a way that you don't get these days with plastic covers, etc. With a Maserati script down both sides of the V-bank on the cam covers, and again the trident up here etched into the plenum. This is one of my favourite parts of the car. I just love the way the light hits the C-pillar. There's no join between the roof and the side of the car. It just flows beautifully, both here and also up here on the A-pillar. The fuel filler cap hidden up here in this beautifully sculpted area right behind these fantastic trident badges underlined with an arrow pointing forward regardless of which side of the car you look at. And then these curves coming down, flowing through the boot lid and all the way down, falling off the side of the car. Simply beautiful. Despite being able to fit 2 fully grown adults in the back of the car, I think Maserati have hidden the proportions really well. It's a beautiful car proportionally. It doesn't look like it's been extended, despite the fact that this panel here, and indeed the wheelbase, is longer than the 2-seat Spider variant. Moving to the back of the car, and we have what is perhaps the most controversial feature of the whole car. These lights. They look fairly normal, I would imagine you're thinking, but if you compare this to the previous model, the 3200 GT, which had these wonderful boomerang lights, it's a little bit of a disappointment. I think they look good on the car. I do think it misses that fantastic appearance from the LED boomerang lights. Perhaps there's a little irony in LED lights, something that's so popular on a car today, being fitted to a car of that vintage. The 3200 GT stopped production in around 2001. Why was that? Well, it was for the federal market. This was the first Maserati that was sold in the US in over a decade. I think maybe it's part of the reason that Maserati still exists today, because had they not moved into the American market, had they not sold this car over there, then perhaps they would have hit bankruptcy and we would never see a Maserati again. Personally, I think that's a small price to pay for what is such a wonderful, prestigious manufacturer with such a great history. Moving along, and of course we've got that famous Maserati script right along the back. Further down, we've got quad exit exhausts to each side and again, being a facelift car, a more open rear bumper. Other changes for the facelift car are the little stubby aerial. Originally it was mounted on this rear quarter panel, which I think takes away from the look of the car. I'm in love with these curves. I'm in love with the way the light hits them. I don't want an aerial interrupting that. That manual, here we have it. Maserati's last manual car, and is it worth all of the effort? Well, I guess if it was Ferrari and it was being made these days, or perhaps any other manufacturer, they'd make a swan song about it. It would be a fantastic open gate manual, but it's not. It's 2004 and it's a Maserati, and they're really pushing that F1 change, Cambiocorsa as they called it. It's what takes Michael Schumacher to world championships in Formula One. When you're right on the edge, it's the gear shift that means the car will shift quickly and precisely. And so that's what they want people to buy. They want people to take the new technology. They want to show off what they're doing. And the manual transmission isn't it. So it's not fantastic. The gear stick's a little bit of a reach, even for someone with longer arms like me. And it loses that mechanical feel because it's a cable operated affair. It's quite a long throw, which, I don't know, I guess adds to the experience, but perhaps also takes away from the precision that you had in something like the MX-5 I was driving last time. So how does it drive then? Well, it's a GT car, not a sports car, so don't expect it to be like a mid-engine Ferrari or a Porsche 911. And when we talk about its GT credentials, it's not quite as plush as a Bentley or an Aston Martin, or perhaps even a Jaguar of the day, but it's still comfortable and roomy in here. It's somewhere in the middle, a sports GT perhaps. And I think it benefits from being that. It means that you can drive hundreds of miles in comfort and you can find a twisty back road and have some great fun with it. The handling is good, the steering rack is quick and it makes it fun on a twisty road. There's a little bit of feel there, but it's also too light. I guess that makes it nice when you're just cruising down a motorway without a care, but on a twisty road I think I'd prefer if it weighted up a little bit more. Maserati Skyhook suspension, the name it gave to its active suspension back in 2004, is active all the time. It's adjusting 40 times per second, which is 10 times quicker than the competition was back then. In normal mode, the car's quite soft. You really feel its weight. You feel the nose dipping as you brake, and you feel it kind of moving around quite a lot into the corners. Hit that sport button and the opposite thing happens. It becomes quite crashy, quite a bumpy car. Personally, I like that. That's something I enjoy in a car, but I can understand why maybe it wouldn't be for everyone. The seats are comfortable, but they don't really hold you in. It feels like you're sitting on them. And what about the interior? Well, I think it's really beautifully designed, even in this black on black that we have here, from that traditional Maserati analog clock right up front and centre, with the whole dashboard shaped, flowing right into this clock in the middle. And as the driver, in front of me I have 6 circular gauges, the speedometer and the rev counter right there front and centre, all in Maserati blue. Watching that rev counter jump up and down with that fantastic V8 noise happening is absolutely incredible. You almost wish for a little second gear corner to come up so that you can just blip the throttle on the way out and just hear it explode into life. And oh, here's another slow corner. Let's slow down some more. It's addictive, the sound, the engine. That to me is really what this car is all about. Back in 2004, I think it would be a nice highly spec car. 20 years later, I think it's an interesting spec at best. We've got electric mirrors and seats, which are heated as well. And as you'd expect, things like remote central locking. It also has sat-nav, though it's quite interesting to use because, well, it doesn't have a touch screen. Trying to operate sat-nav with what is basically 2 volume knobs probably isn't the easiest thing in the world. It also doesn't accept postcodes. And also, it's a phone. Yes, you heard that right, this whole car is a phone. If I reach down here, I could pull out the SIM card. And that SIM card, believe it or not, will connect to the network still, and you can phone people. It even came with a hands-free kit, a wired one admittedly. So it's rare, it's Italian, it's high performance, it's complex. It must be an absolute nightmare to maintain, right? Well, I'm going to disappoint you here. Actually, no, not at all. If you keep on top of the maintenance and the usual kind of service schedule type stuff, and you make sure that you actually use the car, these are really solid. They don't have things like the IMS bearing failures or bore score of Porsches of the era, and short of a few high ticket items that fit into wear and tear, they're not that bad at all. The clutch is probably the worst of the bunch. The Cambiocorsa cars have a bit of a habit for them, though this manual, well, it isn't really that bad at all. The clutch lasts a long time. It's not necessarily something you're going to have to worry all that much about. Unfortunately, as these cars get older, some parts are getting quite hard to obtain. Some of the model specific parts are no longer available and you have to look to the used market. That's a problem because these were rare cars when they were new. Over its lifespan, 2002 through 2006, only 13,500 of these cars were made worldwide. When you start to look for things specific to one variant, maybe the coupe like this one, or the Spider, or even the Grand Sport, you'll find the parts obviously get more and more limited. About 80% of the cars that were made were the robotised manual Cambiocorsa. Coupe GTs like this one, I think there's 1,100, and remember, that's worldwide. Expand that to a car like this one, a right-hand drive facelift Coupe GT, and there's less than 100 of them made in the first place. This is an incredibly rare car. But that doesn't affect the regular maintenance. Service parts, filters, oil, spark plugs are all pretty standard fare, or perhaps even shared with other cars. Things like suspension and the gear shift linkage are a slightly different story. And at that point, you're either looking at figuring out something for yourself or buying used. So what do you think? Well, I think these cars are incredibly undervalued. Okay, I'm coming at this from a little bit of a bias. I think they're beautiful cars, perhaps a little bit too subtle, and I think they drive really well. I think they're rewarding, and the special feeling that it gives you being in a car like this is something that is so hard to describe. It's something that rewards every time you look at it. Looking down at that trident in the middle of the steering wheel, it just makes you smile every time. And the noise, oh, that noise. Coming out of a small village, and then you can let things go. It was a quick car back in 2004, and it's still a quick car today. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you think this video's gone. Let me know what you think of this car. Is it something that you'd be up for trying out? Have a look in the classifieds. Honestly, find a good one, and these are fantastic cars. And don't forget to drop me a like and a subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you want to see next time. Let me know what I've done wrong this time. And, well, hopefully I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.